Right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our smart contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now, I did inform you that today we're going to be starting a new module, so let's dive right into the module that we're going to be starting. And I believe as soon as it pops up, I can tell you what the module is going to be. Yesterday we finished up the integer precision. I always get that word mixed up. It's integer precision. So that's the module we finished yesterday. And today we're going to be starting with the send a transaction with ETH. So in this section, we'll go over the process of sending a transaction with ETH and Vyper. This is our contract so far. This is everything we've done so far, and we make sure that everything is working properly the way it should. So let's move down and do some light reading. So at this point, we can deploy our small contract to the Sepolia test network, and then we can send a transaction with ETH to the fund function of our smart contract. Now to deploy, we will use the same steps we took in the previous sections to deploy our first smart contract. We're going to compile the small contract using Vyper. We're going to deploy the small contract to the Sepolia test network using a tool like Tenderly with the Remix IDE. Once deployed, we will get the address of our deployed small contract. We will use the address of the deployed small contract to interact with it via a script or remix. To send a transaction with ETH, we can use the fund function that we have set up in our smart contract. In Remix, we can select the fund function, enter the amount of ETH we want to send, make sure it's at least $5 worth of ETH, and then click the transact button to send a transaction. After the transaction is sent, we can check the transaction status in Remix or Tenderly to see if it was successful. We have enough ETH in our wallet to cover the transaction fees, gas, send the transaction. Now, after following these steps, we should be able to successfully send a transaction with ETH to our smart contracts fund function. This will allow us to test the functionality of our smart contract and ensure that it works as expected. We can also use the get price function to verify the current price of ETH in USD. Now, this will help us ensure that our smart contract is correctly interacting with the price feed. Let's move down a little bit more. So in summary, this section covered the process of sending the transaction with ETH to a smart contract in Vyper, including how to deploy the smart contract, interact with it, verify its functionality. By following the steps outlined above, we can successfully send a transaction with ETH to our smart contract and test its features. Now, we're going to pick up tomorrow. I don't want to do a whole bunch of reading because we are going to be in this module for the next day or two, so we're going to leave it right there. But tomorrow we will pick up with more light reading, and maybe the day after tomorrow we'll be inside of our Remix IDE, actually showing you how we sent that test transaction with ETH to our smart contract. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.